In the heart of rural Georgia, amidst fields of peanuts and cotton, a future president was born. James Earl Carter Jr., known to the world as Jimmy, entered life on October 1, 1924, in the tiny town of Plains. Carter's childhood was marked by simplicity and hard work. His father, Earl, a strict disciplinarian, owned a peanut farm and warehouse. His mother, Lillian, a nurse, instilled in young Jimmy a sense of compassion that would shape his future. Growing up in the segregated South, Carter witnessed firsthand the injustices of racial discrimination. His mother's friendship with African-American neighbors, uncommon for the time, left a lasting impression on him. Carter's path led him to the United States Naval Academy, where he graduated in 1946. His naval career saw him rise to the rank of lieutenant, serving aboard submarines in the Atlantic and Pacific fleets. But in 1953, following his father's death, Carter made the difficult decision to resign his commission and return to Plains. He took over the family peanut farming business, facing initial struggles, but eventually finding success. It was during this time that Carter's interest in politics began to grow. In 1962, he won election to the Georgia Senate, where he served 2 terms. His commitment to racial equality and social justice set him apart in the still segregated South. Carter's political ascent continued as he was elected governor of Georgia in 1970. His inaugural address boldly declared, "The time for racial discrimination is over." This stance, radical for its time and place, marked Carter as a progressive leader in the New South. In 1976, Jimmy Carter, the relatively unknown governor from Georgia, shocked the political establishment by winning the presidency. His campaign, which emphasized honesty and human rights, resonated with an American public weary of political scandals. Carter's presidency was marked by significant achievements in foreign policy. In 1978, he brokered the Camp David Accords, a landmark peace agreement between Israel and Egypt that stands as one of the most significant diplomatic achievements of the 20th century. However, Carter's presidency also faced significant challenges. The energy crisis of the late 1970s led to long gas lines and economic instability. In a televised address, Carter called on Americans to reduce their energy consumption, a message that was not well received by many. The most significant crisis of Carter's presidency came in November 1979, when Iranian revolutionaries stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, taking 52 Americans hostage. The crisis would last 444 days, spanning the remainder of Carter's term. Despite Carter's tireless efforts, including a failed rescue attempt, the hostages were not released until the day he left office in 1981. This crisis, combined with economic challenges at home, contributed significantly to Carter's defeat in the 1980 election. Jimmy Carter's story, however, did not end with his presidency. In the years following his departure from the White House, Carter embarked on what many consider to be the most impactful post-presidency in American history. In 1982, Carter and his wife Rosalind founded the Carter Center, a nonprofit organization dedicated to advancing human rights and alleviating suffering around the world. The center's work has included monitoring elections, mediating conflicts, and combating disease in developing nations. One of the center's most remarkable achievements has been its work to eradicate guinea worm disease. When the initiative began in 1986, there were an estimated 3.5 million cases worldwide. By 2022, that number had been reduced to just 13 reported cases. Carter's commitment to peace and human rights earned him the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002. The Nobel Committee cited his decades of untiring effort to find peaceful solutions to international conflicts, to advance democracy and human rights, and to promote economic and social development. Even into his 90s, Carter continued his work, building homes with Habitat for Humanity and teaching Sunday school in his hometown of Plains. His tireless dedication to service has redefined the role of a former president and inspired generations. Jimmy Carter's journey from a peanut farm in Georgia to the White House, and then to the far corners of the globe as a humanitarian, embodies the American ideal of service above self. His legacy is not just that of a president, but of a man who dedicated his life to making the world a better place.